from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Mubin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Shain Ali. Let's have a look at the headlines first.
The President stresses that there is no political solution for the economic crisis. Tenants express their satisfaction for the government's program to provide them title deeds for the flats they are occupying. Wife of late State Minister Sanath Nishantha complains to the CID that her husband's death is suspicious. Air Force heroines who safeguard the Sri Lankan sky. Self-proclaimed Avalokiteshwara Mahinda Kodituakku has been released on bail. Court also directs him to a mental clinic in Mullaeriyawa. Pakistan gears for general elections amid bomb blasts. Now on to those and more stories in detail. On today's top story, President Ranil Wickremesinghe stresses that there is no political solution to the economic crisis.
And it can only be solved through an economic and scientific solution. When the country goes forward with implementing economic restructuring, the economy will be further strengthened and the government can reduce the tax burden and the VAT percentage. The President made these remarks opening the 5th and the 9th session of the Parliament today. The President issued a gazette notification proroguing the 4th session of the 9th Parliament from the midnight of the 26th of last month. Accordingly, the President today inaugurated the 5th session of the 9th Parliament. The President has instructed the officials to hold a charm ceremony in opening the 5th session of the Parliament. Accordingly, no army guard of honours, parades, gun salutes or motorcades were held at the ceremony. The first guest to take part in the new session of the Parliament was Speaker Mahinda Abewardena and his wife. Then Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena attended to the Parliament complex.
The 5th session.
After that, President Ranil Wickremesinghe's arrival was taken place and the Speaker, Secretary General of Parliament Kushani Ronadira and Sergeant at Arms Kushan Jayaratna escorted the President to the Parliament complex.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ප්‍රධාන වේත්‍රධාරී කුෂාන් සම්පත් ජයරත්න මහත්මයා ප්‍රමුඛව නියෝජ්‍ය වේත්‍රධාරී අචින්ත කුරිය මහත්මයාද සමගින් ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තු සංකීර්ණයට ප්‍රවිෂ්ඨ වෙනවා ඇති. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවක
A group of female school students chanted Jayamangala Gatha when the President entered the lobby.
සාම්ප්‍රදායිකව සිදු කරනු ලබන්නේ.
ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා
Later, the President presented the policy statement of the government. Foreign diplomats, state officials and a number of visitors were present at this occasion. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that from ancient times to the present day, our world has encountered a myriad of crises spanning nations and personal lives alike. While some crises could be overcome, others provided insurmountable. More commendation and blame shifting towards the crisis itself and not moving beyond scrutinizing its root causes are not effective means of resolution. Successful crisis management, whether on a global scale within nations or in individual lives, hinges on adeptly handling the situation and navigating through it. Reflecting on the timeless wisdom of Lord Buddha's sermon, Adipa Vihari be a lamp unto, we find a profound lesson. Initiating the process of overcoming a crisis must begin within oneself. Throughout history, no crisis has been conquered solely through pointing fingers at others. The President said it is imperative that we become the guiding light for our own selves, correcting our thoughts and perspectives. Without personal improvement, there can be no collective good for our country, and the crisis remains unsolved. True systematic change can only occur when we as individuals undergo transformation, transcending mere pronouncement about altering the system. Allow me to highlight the key economic indicators from February last year up to now. Food inflation, previously at an alarming 54.4%, has seen a remarkable decline to just 3.3%. The exchange rate has shown positive movement, with the dollar worth rupees 362 in the past and now valued at 314. Despite a 3.7% budget primary deficit in 2022, we achieved a significant turnaround in 2023, achieving a primary budget surplus. This marks the sixth instance of Lanka achieving such a surplus in the 76 years since independence. In 2022, the balance of payments deficit was 1.9% of GDP, but by the end of 2023, the country achieved a surplus, a milestone not seen since 1977. The interest rate, which was a high 28% in 2023, has notably dropped to 12%. The 52 main statutory bodies of the government, facing a loss of rupees 745 billion by the end of 2022, turned a profit of rupees 313 billion by September 2023. It is noteworthy that these institutions are suffering from a huge debt burden. On April 12, 2022, Sri Lanka declared its inability to pay its debts, with foreign exchange reserves hitting zero. The current situation is vastly improved, with foreign exchange reserves standing at $4.4 billion by the end of December 2023. This is starkly exemplified by Greece's economic collapse in 2009, leading to protracted struggles and suffering as the nation endeavored to recover. The challenges they faced during that period were formidable, and it took over a decade for them to recover the economy. However, achieving such remarkable feats in a brief span is truly a world record for our country, marking such kind of record-breaking breakthrough. The economic downturn persisted throughout 2022, making notable economic progress in 2023, not a random occurrence. This program was the deliberate outcome of implementing a nuanced economic policy crafted with meticulous care and foresight. President Wickremesinghe said that he consistently communicated the policies, measures and plans we formulated openly, addressing this parliament and the public on various occasions. Every step was taken with transparency, providing opportunities for discussion and debate both inside and outside the parliament, leaving nothing concealed. My decision-making was driven by the country's growth, not political gain. Even when facing disadvantages, decisions in favor of the country were not shied away from. While certain groups in the parliament opposed these decisions, the majority, regardless of personal political motives, supported them for the benefit of the country. The President said that he is confident that in time they will be acknowledged and appreciated by the people. As a means of assistance to low-income individuals, each family will receive 20 kilos of rice during the festive season of the year. Not long ago, conversations centered around the challenges posed by power cuts, demanding uninterrupted electricity. Today, the discourse has shifted to electricity bills. Previously, concerns were raised about the exorbitant black market price of petrol, with talk of spending days in fuel queues. Now the focus is on new oil companies investing in Sri Lanka. Issues related to the scarcity of vegetables have transformed into discussions about prices of carrots. The prior scarcity of paper for book printing is now replaced by discussions about VAT. Indeed, VAT poses a burden for many, and we are not oblivious to this fact. We are systematically addressing this issue. In 2022, there were 437,547 registered taxpayers, a number that surged to 1,029,000 by end of 2023, an impressive 130% increase. As the tax network expands, the burden of individuals and organizations will diminish. Continuing our economic reforms, we aim to alleviate the tax burden as the economy stabilizes. There is also room for a potential revision of the VAT percentage. Projections from the IMF, World Bank and Asian Development Bank suggest a potential 2% to 3% economic growth for this year, and our efforts are geared towards elevating this to 5% by 2025. By September 2023, our total debt burden was US $91 billion. And it will take a considerable period of time to settle this debt. In order to meet our debt, we need to source the funds locally. It is imperative that we generate this income, otherwise we risk falling into the debt trap once again. As a result of debt restructuring, we will be able to reduce the annual payment. Nevertheless, even under such a situation, we will still have to pay around $3 billion per year. We cannot continue to be paying in this manner. We need to create a balance between our income and expenditure. Our budget deficit is at an acute stage. We must break free from the shackles of a debt-driven mentality to secure the future of our country. The elimination of the debt economy is paramount, and we need to focus on building a robust, independent economy. Our country boasts abundant renewable energy sources, presenting a significant opportunity for economic gain. By leveraging state-of-the-art international technology, we are capable of transforming into an energy exporting nation, particularly in the production of green hydrogen and green ammonia, for which preliminary plans are underway. Climate change is a priority concern, and we are taking initial steps to establish an international climate change university in Sri Lanka to spearhead research efforts. The President said that rapidly increasing export income and foreign investment are crucial components of this transformative journey. Our journey can gain momentum only when we unite and confront this challenge collectively. Some individuals driven by ambitions for titles prioritize personal gain over the welfare of the country. They manipulate the truth for their own benefit, deceiving both the nation and its people. If we divert from reality and tread the path of illusions, we risk falling into significant peril. Once again, I urge everyone to unite in the pursuit of our nation-building dream. Let's engage in open discussions. If there are alternative methods superior to the ones we are currently employing, please bring them forward. Let's thoroughly examine and discuss them. By coming together and exploring the best systems for our country, we can collectively implement positive change. We are always open to such constructive dialogues. If you endorse the idea of engaging in these discussions, I am prepared to extend invitations to top officials from international financial institutions, including the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, to visit Sri Lanka for these deliberations. Now let me place two examples from East and West before you. According to 19th century author and social activist Helen Keller, alone we can do little, together we can do so much. And the President reminded of a poem penned by the esteemed Tamil poet Bharati about his homeland. This poem has been translated into Sinhala by Professor Sunil Aryaratna. 30 crow phrases has she yet, she hath only one body and soul. 18 spoken languages hath she yet, she hath only one thought. The President said that he urged each of the people, why can't we adopt such a perspective? Despite our diverse ideas, ethnic backgrounds, languages and provincial residencies, faiths, beliefs and political affiliations, why can't we unite in a shared vision for the country's well-being and the future? Why can't we reach a collective understanding for the benefit of our nation's youth? Why can't we join hands to reach great heights? In the interest of the nation's welfare and the prosperity of our youth, the majority of the Podujana Peramuna have set aside past animosities and reached a consensus. President Wickremesinghe said that likewise long-standing political allies have aligned with the Samagijana Balawegaya, including those whom he personally introduced to the political arena. If the Podujana Peramuna can unite for the greater good, why can't the Samagijana Balawegaya follow suit? During the period of good governance, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna cooperated closely with us. Mr. Ananda Vijaypala led the Anti-Corruption Office, a position for which he maintains pertinent records to this day. So why can't the JVP join forces for the betterment of our nation? Although we may compete in elections separately, let us collaborate in nation-building endeavors. The President said that he extended his invitation once more to embrace a shared vision and common purpose for our country. Let us initiate change within ourselves, fostering unity and enlightenment. Together, let us create a new political ethos dedicated not to personal ambitions but to the collective aspirations of our nation. The President said that our commitment lies in enriching the lives of our youth and future generations. Let us uphold the noble responsibility entrusted to us, Failure to prioritize this duty over personal agenda would be a betrayal of history's judgment. Let us embark on this journey together, forging a brighter tomorrow and a renewed nation. Join me in building a new era for our beloved country.
දේශපාලන වාසිය තකා තීරණ ගත්තේ නැහැ. මම හැම තීරණයක්ම ගත්තේ රටේ වාසිය ගැන හිතලා. අපට අවාසි වුණත් රටේ හිතකර තීරණ ගැනීම.
And in the meantime, opposition leader and majority of SJB parliamentarians did not participate in the opening of the new parliamentary session. However, parliamentarians Rajitha Senaratne, Sarath Fonseca, Patli Champika Ranavaka and Kumara Velgama listened to the president's speech. The other parliamentary groups that represent the opposition were present at the lobby at the time. The parliament was adjourned up to 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. The debate on the president's policy statement is scheduled to be held tomorrow and the day after.
The tenants of the Colombo flats expressed their gratitude to the government for its program to implement the grant title deeds for 50,000 tenants for the government flats in Colombo. It is significant that the stamp fee and the notary charges and all other expenses in transferring ownership from the housing units are borne by the government. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that in case of the first owner is dead at present, the ownership is transferred. The Cabinet has approved the proposal to grant title deeds to the 50,000 tenants living in government flats recently. This program has been implemented as a proposal of the 2024 budget. These housing units have been provided with low-income families at monthly rental basis under various urban development programs. A monthly rental of 3,000 rupees is charged for each housing unit from the families. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that once the title deeds are provided to the relevant tenant, charging of the monthly rental is totally stopped.
And in the meantime, harvesting of paddy in the Maha season has started at present. Farmers say that there is a slight decrease of harvest due to the heavy rains experienced during the past period. As the rainy weather eased, farmers in the Kurunegala district have started harvesting their paddy cultivations. Over 83,000 hectares of land have been cultivated with paddy in the Kurunegala district. Our correspondent stated that harvesting over 29,000 hectares has already been completed. The Agrarian Development Department stated that paddy harvesting in the Trincomalee district is also underway at present. Assistant Commissioner of Agrarian Services in the district, N. Vishnudasan, said that over 134,000 paddy lands are to be harvested in the coming days.
In the meantime, Minister Dr. Bandula Gromadana says that the stalled development projects can be restarted after debt restructuring programs have been completed. He made these remarks participating in a dialogue held in Colombo yesterday. The dialogue has been organized under the title of Broken Economy and the Budget 2024 Analytical Dialogue with Engineers. This event was organized by the Sri Lanka Engineering Institute. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawarthana said that the Treasury has received 3 trillion rupees as a total income in 2023. The Treasury had to spend 13 trillion rupees for the yearly expenses. The deficit of 10 trillion rupees, however, debt to be paid back. The persons who say they have instant solution to rebuild the country should find a solution for this issue. A large number of road development projects are stalled at present until the government signed an agreement to settle the debts. No country or creditor organization will provide loans to Sri Lanka. If debt restructuring process is completed by March or April, then the new year will become prosperous. Until then, politicians will lie. Meanwhile, a book titled Madhyamaga, written by senior journalist M. Indrajit, was launched at the National Library Services Board Auditorium under the patronage of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawarthana. The industrial clinic meeting of the sellers and export dealers jointly organized by Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and the Industrial Development Board under the title Arambu Jayagamu was held today at the Gampaha District Secretariat Auditorium.
Moving on to the other news item, we have all women living on earth has unlimited strength. Her mind power is stronger than her physical strength, and this story is about a set of daughters of Sri Lanka who safeguard the Sri Lanka sky with both spiritual and physical power. Sri Lanka Air Force recruited the first two female pilots 7 years ago in 2017. One of the two pilots in Rangana Veerawardena, who is promoted to the flight lieutenant position at present. Rangana completed her primary education in Sri Bodhi Primary School in Gampaha. She continued her secondary education at Bandaranaike Central College in Bayangota and Ratnavali Girls School in Gampaha. Noticing a paper advertisement published by the Sri Lanka Air Force, she applied for the first female pilot post. After she was selected to the post, she has been rendering her service to safeguard the Sri Lanka sky up to now. 26-year-old Rangana has completed 250 flying hours at present. Flight Lieutenant Rangana Veerawardena said that she had a slight fear on the first day. However, she got used to the training, the instructions of the trainers. There is no difference between the male pilots and female pilots in the duty-wise. With talent and skills, any newcomer can improve their capabilities in this profession.
ඔපනංවා ගන්න පුළුවන් ෆිල්ම් එකට ජොයින් වුණොත් ඒක අපි බයක් නැතුව කරන්න පටන් ගත්තොත් අපිට ඒක කරන්න බෑ කියලා හිතන්නේ නැතුව අපිට ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතුවොත් අපිට ඒක කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
And the other is Flying Officer Sanduni Ravihansi of Tissa Maharamaya. Sanduni completed her primary education at the Dabarababa President's Primary School and secondary education in Sangamita Girls College. She joined the Sri Lanka Air Force in 2019. Her inaugural flight is in a Zesta 150 aircraft. She has completed about 200 flying hours at present. Flying Officer Sanduni Ravihansi said that there should be strict discipline in this profession. It is very much important to fly an aircraft up to a level of 10,000 feet in height and land back on the ground with safety.
මූලික වෙන්නේ තමන්ගේ සහ අනෙකුත් නිලධාරියාගේ ඩිසිප්ලින් එක. මුලින්ම එයා ෆෝස් එකට ජොයින් වෙලා එයා ෆෝස් එකත් එක්ක ඒ ගමන යන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඒ ඩිසිප්ලින් ඒ පුහුණුව හරියට කරගන්න.
These brave Sri Lanka daughters are born to this island owing to its good fortune. We wish them best of luck and wish more and more such heroines may appear in this land.
Now again, the previous item that was said, the industrial clinic and meeting of the sailors and exporters dealers jointly organised by Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and the Industrial Development Board under the title Arabu Jaigamu was held today at the Gampaha District Secretariat Auditorium. The industrial clinic and business meetings have been organised by targeting the industrialists who are currently running a business and entrepreneurs who hope to start a business. Many such industrialists and entrepreneurs in the Gampaha district were provided with business-oriented knowledge and information at this meeting. Government institutions, banks and private firms have joined the event. Exporting process, digital marketing and introduction of certificates that need for export process were introduced to businessmen at this meeting. Chairman of the Ceylon Industrial Development Board, Dr. Saragarangala Allah Peruma, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Dr. Prasad Samarasinghe and many other officers were present at the occasion. This program is scheduled to be organised in more other districts in the future.
Moving on to few more local news items in brief. The Colombo Fort Magistrates Court today released the suspect of self-proclaimed Avalokteswara Bodhisattva Mahinda Kurituaku as he is suffering from a mental disorder. The court also ordered the suspect to take part in the mental clinic at the National Mental Health Institute in Mulleriava on Mondays. The magistrate Thilunagamage said that according to the medical report, the suspect is suffering from a mental disorder and needs to continue clinical treatments. If he is not properly treated, his illness can be intensified. Wife of former State Minister late Sanat Nishanta lodged a complaint at the Crime Investigation Department today, saying that her husband's death is suspicious. The police has started a special program today to bring down abuse of women and children while travelling in buses. DIG Renuka Jayasundara says that police officers in cities with surveillance cameras have been deployed in buses for this purpose.
3,986 patients have been identified from the Jaffna district last year. Out of them, 7 patients have succumbed to the disease of dengue. Northern Province Governor PSM Charles says that all measures have been taken to prevent the spread of dengue fever in the province. She added that the relevant officials have been instructed to take strong legal action against persons who act negligently regarding the control of the disease. 1,542 premises have been identified so far as mosquito breeding places. Out of these premises, legal action has been taken against 147 owners.
Dengo වගකීම අපේ අරමුණයි. ජාතික රූපවාහිනිය සමග මොහොතේ.
We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
Now to foreign news. First, a look at Pakistan. Foreign media reports that 2 explosions have killed at least 22 people in Pakistan's Balochistan province in the eve of the general elections. The first blast had killed 14 people in front of an independent candidate's party office in Fishin district. A second explosion left 8 people dead in Qila Saif Ullah district. Many others were injured with the 2 blasts. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attacks in Fishin. It is also reported that 25 people were also wounded. Police are trying to determine the cause of the blast and the injured have been transported to nearby hospitals. The Balochistan government said the vote would proceed as planned. Pakistan heads to the polls tomorrow for a widely anticipated general election. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been imprisoned on multiple convictions and banned from contesting the votes against his rivals. A clear frontrunner in campaigning against Khan's all-time foe, Nawaz Sharif. The veteran Sharif will face strong candidates. However, first-time candidate for Prime Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the son of the slain former leader Benazir Bhutto, is also present.
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
Welcome back and on to sports news. India qualified for the finals of the Under-19 World Cup Cricket Tournament.
This is the 5th consecutive occasion India has reached the finals. The first semi-final match played in Bentoni between India and South Africa. Batting first, South Africa scored 244 runs for 7 wickets in their 50 overs. In reply, India reached the victory target for 8 wickets in 48.5 overs. Jordan has qualified for the finals of the Asia Cup football tournament. Jordan defeated South Korea 2-0 in the semi-finals. This is the first time Jordan has qualified for the finals of the Asian Championship football tournament. The tournament is being held in Qatar this year.
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
Thank you for joining us. Good night. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.